Well, whispers of this started coming out yesterday, but there's a word on the street right now about a significant casting in the upcoming X-Men. And we have to let you know that, just to prep you in advance, this is one that we firmly have to put under the category of the rumor mill, right? Just be very, very clear. This one goes under the rumor mill. Got it? Okay, great. Word has started going around that, if you believe the online whispers, again, this is not coming from any of the big official outlets, but that it looks like perhaps Adam Driver, a phenomenal actor, by the way, if any of you guys have not seen, what's the one he did with Scarlett Johansson? Is it Marriage? Is that the name of it? I think that's the one he did with Scarlett. Oh my God. If you want to see an acting class, watch
Marriage
that.
Story, I think.
Marriage Story. You're right. Marriage Story is it. Complete actor's class. Like, it's so good. And the performances are so great in it. Anyway, word going around in the whispers is that Adam Driver has been picked to play the new Magneto. Now, sometimes there are a lot of rumors that get brought up that I'll never address on the show. And sometimes there are some I will address. And we always ask the same two questions when reports like these come out. Question number one, do we believe it's legitimate? And then the second question is always, just for fun, let's assume it is. How would we feel about it? All right. Under the headline of, do we think it's legitimate? I will let you know, I won't tell you who it is. Like, if they want to say it, I'll let them say it. But there's another online guy who about, I say a week or two ago, was texting me, and we were chatting back and forth and saying, by the way, I've been hearing some whispers that Adam Driver may be Magneto. And I'm like, huh. I love Adam Driver, but I'm not sure if that makes sense. He goes, yeah, I just wanted to see if you heard the same thing. I say, I haven't heard the same thing yet. Well, then lo and behold, about a week later, some whispers start going around online that maybe Adam Driver selected to play that. The things that work in the favor of perhaps Adam Driver being the guy is the fact that, number one, I've heard these whispers, right? There are other online guys who've heard this too. Who've heard it long before I have. And they're the ones who kind of put me on it. That doesn't mean it's true at all. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but I thought it should be mentioned that there are some other online guys that have kind of heard this whisper a couple of weeks ago. The second thing that works in its favor is that Adam Driver is just straight up a phenomenal actor. He is a phenomenal actor. The third thing that kind of goes to this, and I don't know, maybe one of you guys can look up Adam Driver's age.
42.
I was going to say, I think he's in his early 40s.
Yep.
It's not a bad age range to start with Magneto.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to fiddle with timelines a little bit. You're going to have to fiddle with how much age gap there might be between, these, like, how young are these ex-students going to be? And I know you guys know that Magneto is my all-time favorite comic book character. Like, not favorite character in movie. He's my all-time favorite comic book character, period. And traditionally, we've got Magneto with the long white hair, and, well, sometimes it's short, but I like him when he's got the long white hair. I like his hair in Age of Apocalypse. Let's just go with that. So you're going to take some liberties there. But if you're saying you're separating the age between the students and, say, like Magneto and Charles by like 20 years, that can work. Remember, this isn't X-Men. It's a new version of the X-Men, right? It's important to keep that in mind. So in terms of, do I believe this report? I'm going to actually do a push on this and say it's a coin toss. Now, guys, I also don't think it's a coincidence that this is coming out the week before Comic-Con, right?
Mm.
Like, we are now just like days away from Comic-Con, and I'm sure some announcements being made and things like that. As you get closer to these sort of things start to leak out and crack out. So I'm going to say at very minimum, I'm going to give this a coin toss that it would be Adam Driver. Now, just for fun, let's assume for a moment, just for the sake of the conversation and for fun, let's assume for a minute that it's true. And Adam Driver is going to be Magneto, my all-time favorite comic book character. Guys, the only question I ever ask is the actor you're putting in a phenomenal actor? Adam Driver, to me, is a phenomenal actor. If they had asked me to give my top 5 wish list, would Adam Driver have popped into my head? Honestly, probably not. But it's one of those names still where I go, this dude's an awesome actor. I think he could bring, I hate using this word, but I think it's appropriate here. I think he would bring a gravitas to the role. And then I think it really opens up who you could have him playing against as a Charles Xavier. I just think there's a lot of potential upside. So I think it's a coin toss as to whether it's true or not. But if it is true, guys, I got to tell you, if we find out tomorrow that it's absolutely true, and Adam Driver puts out a social media post saying, I'm thrilled to be playing Eric, and or I'm playing around with magnetism or something like that, whatever, I'm not going to be upset by it. I mean, again, one of the first 5 names that come to my head, probably not, but I will not be upset if they get an actor of the caliber of Adam Driver to play him. Anyway, Rob, you've heard this whisper, this rumor. It's been around for a little bit, actually, but now it's kind of coming more to the surface. Number 1, what do you think is the validity of this rumor? Number 2, assuming it's valid just for the fun of the conversation, how would you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I think there is a possibility I could see him being cast. I really don't have a sense. The only thing that we really know of where their X-Men approach is going to go is if Sadie Sink is indeed Jean Grey, and we're going to see that, which is interesting. I'm fascinated about how they're going to make this transition from the Fox X-Men to a new X team, because if Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, and wherever she comes from, if she's not native to the 616 universe, I don't know how they're going to do all that. I'm fascinated by it. But that said, it tells us that if Magneto is an elder statesman of these X-Men, that would make sense if the X-Men are in their 20s and he's kind of in his 40s. That makes sense. So that means Xavier will probably be in his 40s as well. And I think it is probably, I mean, Adam Driver, like you said, is a phenomenal actor. He also is a very interesting looking actor.
Yeah.
And I think, his face could really serve Magneto. There's already fan art with him as Magneto with white hair, and it looks, I mean, I'm not against that. I mean, I kind of prefer a European play Magneto, because I've always thought of him as, there you go, there's fan art right now. I mean, he does look cool, and I think it could be true. I just don't know if it's true. But however, like you pointed out, they might announce the cast of X-Men at Comic-Con, because they've been working on this movie for quite some time. I don't know if they want to do that, because would this new X-Men team be unveiled in Secret Wars? I have no idea, but it's all very interesting. And this isn't out of left field. It's very plausible. So like you said, I'll go 50-50 in on it, but if it's true, wouldn't bother me a bit. I think it shows that they're shooting high, and they're probably going to do, I mean, I could see them getting Adam Driver and maybe a known actor for Xavier, but then they're going to populate the X-Men themselves with up and coming young actors, which I think is great. I can't wait to see that. I hope that's the way they go.
Somebody mentioned this in the live chat, and I realized it's like, okay, Adam Driver as Nathaniel Essex, Mr. Sinister. I could totally see that.
Well, that would be just dope.
That would be.
I mean, yeah,
excellent casting.
And that's why it's been mistaken as Magneto.
Oh, maybe
because I would love to look. I don't care. I love Mr. Sinister. I've always loved Mr. Sinister. He's my favorite X-Men villain. I mean, obviously, I would call him a newer Pantheon villain. And I know he kind of looks with all his plumage goofy, but Adam Driver in a really beautifully designed Mr. Sinister costume, bring that on. I actually think that's more likely than Magneto, to be honest.
I mean, it fits. And let's not forget too, guys, like, don't forget about this, that Adam Driver was in the running to be Reed Richards. There was actually a period of time when everybody thought that was a foregone conclusion, but he did have discussions about playing Reed Richards.
Mhm.
So it would make sense that Marvel was like, okay, well, maybe not Reed. Well, what about Magneto, or what about Mr. Sinister, or what about whoever else? Some people in the live chat were also saying Lee Pace as a Magneto. Tell you what, I'll tell you the reason I like that one. Lee Pace has the voice to do Magneto. Like, he's totally got the voice to do Magneto.
But he's
And
already
he's-
But there again, I could see Lee Pace as Mr. Sinister. They were like interchangeable.
Yeah. Granted, that's actually a very good point. I could also see him as Mr. Sinister. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The whispers going around, and actually they've been around for a little while longer, but I just never really gave them any credence. But the whispers right now are that coming up at Comic-Con, we could hear an announcement that Adam Driver is going to be Magneto. Again, it's not one of the 5 names I would have pulled out of a hat, but I kind of dig it because he's such a good actor. But I don't know, whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mars Men. You know, one of the things that catches a lot of us guys off guard as we get older is that staying in shape isn't quite as straightforward as it used to be. You can be putting in the same effort at the gym and watching what you eat, but your body just doesn't seem to respond the way that it did a few years ago. A big reason for that is that testosterone levels naturally decline as men age. And that's where today's sponsor, Mars Men, comes in. Mars Men is a natural supplement designed to support healthy testosterone levels with top-notch ingredients. It's made in the USA, third-party tested, contains no synthetic hormones or weird stimulants, and is designed to support healthy testosterone levels, weight management, exercise performance, and overall energy. They also back it up with a 90-day money-back guarantee, which is key. And according to the company, over 91% of users reported higher energy levels. For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. And it's also available on Amazon. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.